call the meeting to order of the Historic Commission. Have a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second. Any opposed? All right, now I need a motion to approve the minutes. Would you like?
Make the motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
So we have a motion and a second. I'm sorry, it said July, but it said June 5th meeting. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite do the agenda adoption. Who made the motion on that?
I did.
John.
Thank you.
I think it's Mary was second.
Yes.
All right, first up, 3 South Main Street, request to replace the door.
I
404 North Main Street. Is that you, Deborah?
That's me.
Come on up. Come on up.
Hi, I'm here to ask permission to replace the door in picture one, which is totally rotten, with a new door. My husband ordered this special order door back in December, and we've been away all winter and didn't have any plans really to when it was going to be installed. We didn't get home until May, right after June 1st, and I think our contractor thought I had already gotten permission to install it, or he assumed that we didn't need permission. So when we came home, we saw the stop order sign and didn't realize it had progressed that far because we had no communication about it. So a little bit backwards, I'm backpedaling a little bit, but would like to paint it the same color as the door on Dolly's in the same building, that historic dark green. They called it dark on the color chart. I think it was a misspell. So it's a dark hunter green.
Right, and what did you say that the door, what is that made of?
It's let's see, it's smooth star fiberglass. Yes.
I think we all are agree that door definitely needs to be removed.
I thought maybe I could paint. I thought no, I can't.
Age on her.
It's beyond that.
So when you were looking, was there anything that you could have gotten new that would have?
No, the
There
closest,
wasn't anything?
there was not anything. We searched for a long time at Home Depot, and the closest we could come
Was what you chose?
was the one that Michael chose. That it was a special order, so they didn't really have anything in stock, even like the door in Dolly's.
So many of the places have got the original doors on. I'm trying to see.
Do you think that's an original door?
This,
I imagine the glass was probably wood. It looked like to me it was 2 panels. What do they call that?
yeah, I'm not saying
Bible
this
or
is an
something.
original door. Like Dr. On has the original doors. I wonder, like that, maybe that detail on it would make it look older, at least then. Maybe, I don't know.
It's got the mullions in the top, yeah.
See this there? This
With the
brass
where the
piece?
handle is.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping we can use the same hardware on the new door.
Well, if you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll just be a dark green, but we couldn't find anything with that, that much open glass in it.
I really think, when you look at the door and the age of it, I really think that probably the top part rotted out the way the bottom looks now, because I've never seen, I don't know, when it's all the older homes I've looked at, see it whole top half be glass.
Right.
And the bottom be, like I said, they used to call it Cross and Bible, I think, when it had that configuration,
Right.
with like a book at the bottom.
Right.
And so I think it's
Who
the original
knows?
door.
But it's, I mean, well, I can't leave it
But
up
this
there.
is certainly an improvement.
It seems like an insignificant door because it's not to a storefront. But the
Right.
problem with it is it's right on the front of the building.
Right.
And the door that he chose is a Craftsman or
Yeah.
a mission style, and it's a Victorian town.
Mm.
So, I mean, I'm not trying to, I know you already bought it. but
Yep.
To me, it's completely the wrong style for the front of that building. And it's such a, it's one of the most historic buildings in town.
I know that, yeah.
So,
I don't know, I mean, it was a special order, it was almost $3,000, so I
yeah,
don't know
but you
that I
guys
can-
should have come before you ordered it, though. to
Pardon
us.
me?
You shouldn't have ordered it until, I'm not trying to.
No, I thought.
It's just not even, I don't know how everybody else feels, but.
This door, I think what you're saying, Laura, I think what I'm seeing in a lot of homes is becoming very commonplace. I think there's this look, if you look at some of the houses that have been built lately on, you're beginning to see this look
Yeah.
of the six.
But see, Craftsman was the antithesis of Victorian. It was plain and simple, whereas Victorian was, was all the detail. And this is right on the smack dab on the front of the building, and it's not the right style. And that's what, as painful as it is for me to say that, because I consider you a friend, and
Okay, so.
but to me, I feel like it's the wrong style for a very historic property.
It is. You're correct about that. I don't know the options. It seems that, gosh, who else even does doors?
I mean,
You have to
go
have a
Simpson,
custom-made door
yeah.
today to get that look that you're talking about, would have to get a custom-made.
Mike had one, Mike Clean had a door made for that
For
building.
Dolly's.
Is that the one he had made? Okay.
Probably.
And I don't know who he used, it took a long time to get it, but I know that one, whatever door he replaced was handmade. But I don't know if it was done local.
Well, I can find out. I mean, I hate to just waste $3,000. I just,
Yeah.
is that the best solution we
I
can
mean,
come up with?
there's 5 people on this channel.
Can that door be returned?
I don't think so because it was special ordered.
To the size, custom size.
Custom size.
Well, I mean, what happens if we take it to a vote and it's voted?
Well, we
Like
don't-
Richard said, there's 5 of us, and if we do take it to a vote and it passes, then you could do it. If we take a vote and it goes down, you have to wait a year before you can come back to apply to us again to do it
Okay.
with something different that we denied.
Just a little informal, of what people think, we don't have to know.
Yeah, not come to a vote just yet, yeah, I agree. And I-
Deb, when you open it, where does it go? It doesn't go in the...
It goes into a staircase that goes up, there's a building that was used, I think, as, what's?
Johnson.
South Point, he had an office.
Oh, Tom Johnson.
Tom Johnson had an office,
Savings and
but
loans.
it's just a plain, very steep staircase that goes up. So it's very narrow, there's nothing, a little tiny closet when you first open that door that's only about this deep. That nothing's in, but it's just a straight
But it's
staircase.
not
and then-
going into it all.
And then there's
or-
a landing and then another staircase that goes up into the loft area that we were hoping maybe in time to make that an apartment.
Mhm.
But that's another ways down the road.
I don't know if someone could take this door, the new door, and maybe alter it or do something with it so it makes it look more,
Like take the 6 panes out and create wood,
Wood.
make it solid wood.
I think
Would that be
with these-
someone,
well,
well,
I
you know,
think
there's a
there's-
thought, I mean, right, well, how we do this, is someone like Sean Widgeon, who did the hotel with his
Mhm.
dad, or done that kind, he is a master craftsman who has old wood from everywhere, and that might be a thought to bring him in, and I will say, for the quality of the work he does, he works all by himself, very reasonable, because he did work on our home. So I know he isn't someone that does, that's a thought, if he would
The
even
only thing where this is
consider.
a fiberglass door, that.
Oh, it's fiberglass.
It brings in-
It would be very difficult to,
Yeah.
And they're
Change
sealed,
anything.
they're sealed,
Yeah.
so
Well, you're.
And you, by the time you spend that money to do that, you might as well just get another door.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there another place in that building, like in the back, or is there another, do you have other properties where you could use it?
Not really.
It's a
I mean,
shared-
the measurements are for that
Yeah.
space.
I just,
How about donation to Habitat for Humanity?
Yeah,
That'd be a tax.
right.
and
Well,
you know all about the door, and, I think it's probably because he picked it.
I'm sorry.
I said it must be because your husband picked it, because
Yeah.
you know a lot about it.
Yeah, he picked it, when I was
You
not
know.
with him.
I know you know.
But, okay, let me ask you this. If we take a vote and you all decide nay on the door, could I maybe try to fill this with some kind of wood composite and paint it dark green until we come back a year later and
To do like a Band-Aid to, so that.
Right, just, I mean, this
not
just looks
leaking
so
or
bad
whatever,
that-
And change the paint color and come up with
Right.
something that would be more
Right.
acceptable till you get another
And
door.
there might be some kind of wood composite that we could
Or something.
put
Are you
in
going
to
to try
fill
to
in the
return
cracks.
this door?
Pardon me?
Are you going to
Can't
try to
return it.
return the other door?
I don't have, excuse me, I'm not sure that I have many hopes for that, but
Right.
the best that Mary said, I guess I could donate it to Habitat for Humanity or something.
Write it off.
But the other thing is if something's got to go in here, if it's a temporary thing, we vote and this is a temporary thing. Could that bill be used as a temporary thing? It's there, she has it, it's there to use.
Yeah, I
And so what's there now and painting it green,
The dark green,
whatever,
yeah.
and so it blends in and makes it keeping it sealed from.
I don't know, I mean, to me, it seems like it would be easier to try to wood putty this and paint it to make it look better than put on a door that's brand new that I would have to paint and then take off and then try to get rid of somehow.
Yeah, and I mean, even it's looking at like the raised panel about the bottoms of the
Uh-huh.
doors there and on the newer door, I think she's got that up now. Just that molding, the inside molding,
Right.
the trim that's
Right.
on that inside. It could make a difference on your, I know Jake Jones was doing your work and he's great at
Yeah.
what he does. He may have some ideas that could doctor this door too.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't stop trying to maybe figure something out with it.
Okay?
So I'd,
But the other thing is, would we accept something that isn't a wood door on the next one? If she's gonna order it, I feel like it should be a wood door, but
nobody said that, okay. Wood, you think a wood door?
well, all the rest of them in town are wood doors, and that's what looks so
Okay,
historic,
okay.
unless it was some,
Flow.
There was a place, when Mike and I owned the Maryland Wine Bar, we found a place down in Onancock. It was like a big old
Yes,
warehouse. And we
you
dug
got
through
your
there
screen
and
door.
found,
Somebody got a screen door for down.
Right.
Is that you?
Right.
Wow.
so maybe they would have something that even could be cut down or somehow, I don't know, but.
and I think Simpson doors, you can go there also and put special order or something.
Mhm.
You can pick your wood, you can pick your style, you can pick everything. And then order it.
Where is this?
It's called Simpson Doors,
Okay,
just what.
I'll maybe get that from you later.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Tell Michael it probably would just be maybe one afternoon, not on the golf course. But
Take care of it.
Cake was different. And I'll bring him a cake.
okay, so,
Yeah, so do you guys, does anyone wish to make a
Put it in,
motion
and
of
put it
any sort?
in bullets for me so we can exactly where we're going with this. Can you
Yeah.
feel comfortable with that?
Okay, I believe the motion would be that the applicant would like to try to refurbish this through the summer because it looks so bad. And work with us and try to find a wooden replacement door. Is there anything else, Laura, that needs to go on?
Did the green paint would help?
Yeah, with the green paint. Does anybody else have anything they would want to add to that?
That, hear the motion and everything.
Is that all right? Yeah, is
That's
that
gonna
okay
be for
with you?
one year.
And then would I come back next year to
Yeah.
Well,
apply?
you wouldn't have to be.
It's gonna have to be a year.
It doesn't have-
We haven't voted you to a no.
Okay,
We've come up with a,
Or is that?
the alternative.
right,
Which one are you
with you on
leaving in
that.
right now for the year? The old one, the original old?
That would be acceptable
Yeah.
to keep the present door painted in
Painted.
green color.
I love the green.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
love that door.
Yeah, I do too.
And then when, to get her through the summer.
Yeah.
And then when she, if she finds.
If I
she'll
find
just come
something,
back
I'll
before-
come back then.
Before you buy.
That's more
Okay,
than
great.
reasonable.
Okay.
But are you okay with that? And-
I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the consensus that, and I understand the historical part at Main Street, I understand all that, so. We'll patch this one up and revisit.
Good.
I think it'll disappear with.
Oh, wait,
the paint.
that was just a, let's vote on it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
vote, so should,
You want me to start again?
yep,
Okay.
please,
I make a motion on case number, what number is it?
7-3.
7/3/2410, that the current door on the store will be putty, refurbished, painted the dark green to match the Dolly's door, while the applicant works to maybe, hopefully, find another door, similar wooden door that she can use to replace the one that really is deteriorated. And she will come back to us if she does find the door.
Did you get all that, Mary?
I got it.
Not that, Mary.
Our many
Okay,
goes around anymore.
motion on the floor, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second with John. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank
We'll
you all.
work with you
Thanks,
on that.
Dan.
Hi, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you. Deborah, I think there's one more thing that
The
a
window.
couple of commissioners wanted to just bring up to you.
Uh-huh.
Is the white window that was painted.
Uh-huh.
It kind of, a couple commissioners, it hit them, it hit a lot of us, like, when it
But
was
let's
first
just say
done.
that
It was
was-
right there. It's right.
It was clean.
Let's go right to the chase, let's go right to the
Right.
chase.
It does look better than the pink, but.
It better.
It's such a magnificent window.
It is, I thought it really showcased the window, but I think it looks so new,
Exactly.
next to all the old
And
softer.
you art major, and I
paint.
know white really isn't the
Right,
color, it just
right.
sort of does tints things down, and where the black darkens them, the white brings it up. Of course, it's a color to most people, but I think it's just there, and that is such a magnificent window. And I will tell you, I was on here, Carol, I think you were as well, when P&C, when it changed from Mercantile Peninsula Bank, Mercantile, then they switched. And that was painted without anyone coming in front of us and saying, you know, what do you think of this? And the Pepto-Bismol pink.
Right.
And there are different shades of rose or this and that.
Right.
And it's always been sort of that, the glare. And I just think that window, and I'm not, you've got a good eye for color. I think you can figure out, I don't know, Laura, you've got a good eye for color too. Moss
I like
green
that
or
green.
something.
Do you like the green?
Taupe or
Okay.
moss
Rest.
green,
If we
Okay.
could, we love that green, it just seems like everything.
Okay.
And then the
Okay.
eye flows through town. It isn't that, and I was reading something Paige Hammond had written, who was really the whole, started this whole historic district commission thing when she and Ed, when she moved into Rural Manor and inherited all of that and Taylor House Museum. She would always say that to me, you know, she said, people should not think of Berlin as just Victorian homes. She said, there are Victorian places here, but it's a little bit of everything. But the flow is in the color, and when they're like the color green, your eye goes through the town. I think that's
Right.
part of the charm, because you've got a little bit of every decade, you know,
Right.
the last century in here. And to me, it is a show, it is one of the most beautiful windows, I think.
It really is pretty.
Yeah.
Well, when we do the door,
Yeah.
we'll throw some green around the window. How's that?
Two days off the golf course.
The sitting area is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Thank
beautiful-
you.
Yeah.
We're just getting ready to,
Really?
there's some things died in the drought, but we're getting ready to put a soaker hose in there and replant some of the ones that need
It's
to
a
be
big
pulled
year.
out.
I feel like it's been about a year.
It's been a little over a year, and people are really enjoying it.
I
so
see a
that
lot of
makes us
people
happy.
doing that, that was
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
Very happy.
Wonderful gift gift to the
Oh,
town.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes, that was, yeah.
Well, thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
thank
and
you.
I'll
Understanding,
be in
Deb, I
touch.
appreciate that.
All right,
Thank you.
see you, Deb.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's see, I did get 3 South Main Street there, so I need to go back to 104 North Main Street, 104 North Main Street, is that Attorney Girardi?
How you doing?
How are you?
All right, Joe Brittingham, I represent War Agave, 104 North.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
So, what we have here, you want to replace the sign, the existing sign? Is this, and we have a picture here of the sign on the screen, guys, or in your packet. Is that, what's it made of?
It was an existing sign that for 2 restaurants prior, it was the Italian restaurant.
You're using the same sign?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we just painted it and just looked at it.
That sign didn't work too good for the other 2 restaurants.
Well, can't.
But I've been in, I love yours. I love theirs too.
Everybody is just
Yeah, so,
laughing at
yeah,
it.
hoping to get it up, so.
Your food was very good, your ambiance, the atmosphere, I enjoyed it, I can tell you that. So, I mean, the sign's been done before, and
I didn't
anybody
know,
have any-
I didn't see this.
We're sorry, I think you'd had this up and we had.
No, we were getting ready and we were like a day or 2 before, 2 weeks before the last June meeting.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just something we have to
Understand.
go through.
I deal with another.
We would have loved to have you just put it up and
That's
it opened up and done all that, but, does anybody have any questions?
No, it's fine,
May I
it'll
ask-
look really nice.
I know, maybe off a little sidebar, what is your FARE? What is your fare you offer? What is your theme for your restaurant?
Bourbon is, the bourbon tequila.
That
so
part I
the
understand.
War Agave part, yeah, so we have a little mixture of Spanish food, but not as much, because Spanish can get a little too much. But it's more like just a soul food, like, hearty. We have flatbreads, we have a little bit of everything, a little bit of seafood. Hopefully our menu gets bigger, more with, people coming in town with vacations now. We're actually gearing long-term menu probably next week, a bigger menu. So,
I had stuffed rockfish.
okay.
Perfect, sit right there with you.
Yeah, they have simple for lunch as much as rockfish sandwiches or the Reuben, stuff like that. So your
So
basics.
you're open for lunch and dinner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're glad to have you on Main Street, welcome.
And Mondays too, because I hear Mondays are not open around here. We're going to Mondays.
Quiet town, quiet town. Can we, everybody, entertain a motion? We're done.
I'll make a motion to approve, not ready. I'll make a motion to approve case 7-3-24-09 as presented.
I second.
We have a motion, we have a second, all in favor? Any opposed? Tag your sign tonight.
Okay. I also put in something about the windows. I put a package in as well. Does that go with the board as well?
Are those, were
They're
they,
those decal things,
Decal.
yeah, we always,
are they on the inside or the outside?
I like to go to outside if I can.
They're outside window, yes, we do.
they're
Okay.
in the packet.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about the Ansel? I paid for that, or not paid for it, I put in for it, for the 2x4. Kind of like the boards that go on the street, is this part of it as well?
No, we don't do those signs, the sidewalk signs, we haven't done that for a long time.
Okay.
I think, Mary, that's your office.
She told me that,
Carolyn has all the regulations on that.
Yeah.
And I will just note that the stickers, the decals for the windows are part of his application.
correct.
Yeah, so the assumption is everything was approved on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everybody fine with it all?
Yeah, but I thought that's what we were ready for, was everything, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
everything
I just
is-
wanted to be sure everyone was clear.
Right.
I think it's great you're coming with a menu that's different than what's being offered at the other restaurants.
Right,
too.
and we try to respect pizza, we do have a pizza oven, so we try to respect because the area does have pizza, so we do offer like 3 flatbreads, and that's it.
And that's good,
We
because
don't
I
want
enjoy
to be
those, but
stepping on
yeah.
toes, you
You know,
know.
people who bring children in.
Correct,
enjoy that,
yeah,
so that
but the
should be
flatbreads are
hard.
healthy,
Shouldn't have-
you think it's healthy, you know, it's not like a pepperoni, but, yeah.
You're off to a great start, I've
Hopefully.
had a lot of folks say they've enjoyed it.
It's a challenge for myself to build.
Well, it looks very nice. I like the bar, you made the bar bigger.
Correct.
So some
A
attraction
little bit
people in
extra.
there for that, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the local, the lady and husband's social 410, she painted the picture inside. So she helped us out there.
Mary, you must go, you can go.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna, are
I
you
guarantee
going
it.
The
to,
children are coming to town soon, so they're diner outers, so.
when you get, well, you know, going and everything, are you gonna think about maybe having groups on the second floor for like a?
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
okay, great.
They call it a speak easy. It's like a private thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good.
So it'd be like if you had a gathering for a family, you can go upstairs. That's the future, that's work later. It took enough to get downstairs straight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Family
yeah,
style.
well, you,
Yes.
yeah, and really all season is when you're gonna have more, you know.
Yeah, it's right now, we just, nobody knows us, because just an advertisement, we don't really publish it because of the Van Martin, so, and plus the sign, hopefully, people look, but they don't know what the place is really, so, hopefully it's helped.
I will. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Wish you well.
All right, man.
There's the quicks.
Yeah, bring up the quick. The best cheesesteak cooker in Berlin right here.
Here, give me the paperwork. I don't know why they sent us with all this stuff. How does it feel to leave that great big old house? Get a little cottage.
You know, it's really lovely. It was 38 years we ran the bed and breakfast, and it's nice that the kids want to take it over and I
think
can
so.
walk out the door. Although I was there watering and ironing and doing the laundry.
Jan, you just can't stop.
I can't, so.
I promise, it's not a mudstone.
But it is.
Cleaners for the windows.
Well, you're
Did
bringing
you drive
whatever
over
we
there and
ask
carry
people
all
to
this?
bring.
No, I know, a place next door I could park easy. They saved a spot.
I drove up here, thank you.
I like the style, it's great.
All right, for the record, just tell us your names and your address.
Jim and Jan Quick, 406 South Main Street.
All right, and welcome to our meeting here, and what is it you're wishing to do here?
To build a two-car garage in the back of the existing home on 406.
All right, Commissioners. Anybody want to start? with
Nice
any
package,
questions?
really.
I'm fine with it, but I don't,
Yeah, I've read through, what
I didn't see
I like
that-
what I
that-
saw.
yeah.
And I think it fits. And you did your homework on it, and everything.
The style of the garage, like it even reflects the same roof line and everything. I think your architect did a great job of that. It's nice.
I'm glad it doesn't look like a boat storage. We've seen a lot of those popping up,
Yes.
popping up. It's very charming. It's nice for the neighborhood, and for your neighbors, I would think. Very attractive.
Yes.
The only thing I was thinking is the color. What color will the cedar intentions be?
Well, we already have beige cedar shades on there, so I don't know if he can come up with the one that Matt, he wants to use this style, but it doesn't show it in that light yellow cream color, which is what our existing house is. So
See,
he's not here for me to ask him, but I'm sure he can order it, you know.
Order the same as your house.
Yeah.
it's the staggered look. If you have this page, just a little.
My only
overlap.
concern was the color, because I thought, is it going to be, would you be able to still get the same color?
Yeah, you got close. You know what happened the first time we did remodeling on the house and had to come? We have a straight,
Vinyl.
straight vinyl in the
Plastic.
middle, and then we have the cedars on either end because we couldn't get that vinyl. So it helps that the garage is going to sit a little bit away, even if the colors.
But the thing is when something looks a little bit off, and then when you put it on a big garage,
Yeah,
and you've got it on your big house, I think it will look,
well, he's searching for that color.
I think, and if not, then you could always just go white or something that would match the trim on your house.
Well, you got the big yellow house next door.
You know, we ought to call that the big yellow
That's
tag.
the mustard house.
That's how I describe that house, is mustard.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know who grew up there. I say, do you know who grew up there? Jerry Freeman's spot, Danny Penny,
Bill.
Bill Ennis.
Bill Freeman lived there as a
He
child?
lived there,
Okay, I remember
I didn't know that.
the 70s, but I didn't realize that.
And it does have a second floor on it, but I don't want you to think anyone is staying in that second floor.
I'm down for second floor.
Never again. The second floor is because the house doesn't have any storage.
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere to put Christmas decorations, anything, winter clothes, so that's what the second floor is for.
After having hundreds and hundreds of people
Space.
stay on your second story.
Yeah, and lots of space in the attic on 5 Bay, you know, I could store half the town up there, but anyway.
And you're not cooking them breakfast either.
And I'm not. And I was in the living room once, and a woman was sitting there, and Jake, my son-in-law, said, and this is the past owner, and I went, hi, how are you? And I went right out the front door.
No small talk, you don't have to do that anymore either.
No.
All right, someone going to entertain a motion? Anyone?
I would like to see the color that they decide on. I'd like to.
Well, it's gonna be one of these, Laura, because it's
Yeah, there's
it's
two,
as
yeah,
close
two samples.
here.
Okay, bring it up, yeah,
Oh.
Jan, maybe there's something.
They're real small samples.
They're small samples.
There's,
But it's that,
And I know your garage sits far back.
Yeah.
it's that light.
Yeah.
It'll
Right,
sit
yeah,
far
yeah,
back.
very soft.
It'll probably be a good
It's gonna stay.
70 feet off the main
Yeah.
street.
Probably
At
this
the front
light,
of the garage.
light cream right here.
I see.
So it would be lighter than darker.
Yeah.
I see.
But it doesn't show that underneath. When Jake gave me this, he didn't show it under here, but I'm sure you can order the
Yeah. And it's far back.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do love your, like, it's a very nice
Well,
design.
the doors and the window, I always say, Jan, the doors and the windows are the jewelry of a home. And you all, I mean, they're really attractive. I mean,
I almost stood up and said, should I take her to order and put it on the garage?
Very handsome.
Might get it for half price, okay?
Now all we have to do is get Jake to build it.
Okay, I was going to give his, I will make a motion on case number 732411 for 406 South Main Street to accept the application as presented by the applicant this evening.
Second.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. And anyone opposed? Start building.
After the Peach Festival,
I know.
please.
I know, I've got to still make peach jelly.
It'll be a good month for something, at least.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right, next order of business, notice for filing deadlines for commissioners, so.
That'd be two of us.
I filed, I think, did you get mine? You know?
Oh, no, this is actually in reference to filing deadlines to be on the agendas. for
Oh, okay,
considerations.
yeah.
And this is just a matter of notice to let people know that, excuse me, there's a schedule that's attached behind the memo indicating when they have to file for consideration to be on a future agenda. We were accepting submissions to be on agendas right up to the last minute, and it was just not, you can't work with that. You have to have more time.
Right.
So this is requiring 30 days for people to get their paperwork in, which gives staff time to review it and get back to them. And, you know, if there needs to be some back and forth, it gives them some time to make changes before it actually gets on the agenda.
What about some of the things that we've been worried about for months and months and months and months? Did we talk to you about it?
Refresh my memory, please.
I'm really concerned about Mr. Pitt's Street, how on William Street, where all the sign was pulled off and it was not supposed to be.
Those kinds of things, unfortunately, we don't have anyone to do enforcement right now, but it will.
Though we did, well, see, that's the thing, we did have people back when it was done. It was that house is one of the oldest houses in this town, and if it keeps getting all this rain in that wood, it's gonna be gone. There's absolutely nobody that can go look at it and call the owner and say, you weren't supposed to do this, you got to take care of it.
I do understand your concern and your frustration, but we are bare bones right now.
And
We
you-
just don't have the people.
Mary, it was interesting, going back, looking over the records when Carol, you and I both came aboard in '07, and gosh, all the things, you know, how they met maybe 3 times a year, the historic district, maybe 3, maybe 4 times a year, going back to the beginning of the Globe, of course, Atlantic Hotel. Exactly what was the date, Laura? Do you remember when the Atlantic Hotel actually opened for business? I know.
Originally?
Yeah. when-
1895.
And then when you all came aboard, I mean, when the.
Oh, 15 years ago.
I
was gonna say.
thought you meant original.
Let me get out there.
Okay, good, that, 15 years for the.
15, you when Reese got all the business people in town that ponied up their 100,000.
Yeah, that
That was
was
before that.
That was
late
late
87, yeah, I mean, they-
I take the lease.
yeah.
for the house
So I was
store.
looking back at how things and where we are today with how I mean, I understand with your hands being tied when it met 3 times a week, and there was actually an enforcer. I think it was a woman.
We've had
Am I
code
correct?
enforcement, someone specific for that job,
Yeah.
on and off over the years that I've been here.
Yeah.
Well, you all, when you, last year, it was added to the budget, and did nobody apply to do the job?
We are allowing whoever comes in as the planning director to set the parameters for that and to hire someone. We wouldn't
Yeah,
want to
they're
hire someone
really
right
good.
now without a direct supervisor, you know, able to devote the time and energy needed to
Right,
get
yeah,
that
follow
job rolling.
Yeah, do that, understandable.
Since you asked about if there's anything, I had someone that texted me tonight, and I've had several complaints, and this may also be an enforcement thing. But there's a red trailer in front of, that, it's kind of across from me, but more catty corner.
Is it Danny's old house with the magnolia
Yes.
tree up
What's the
front? And
address
someone,
for that,
he
do you
came
know?
in front of us and had.
Yes, they-
great, some of Mike
They had that
Combs' writings
remodel,
on
Mike
Reddit.
Hazard did the whole remodel, and then after it's done, they have this big red trailer that's been there for 2 years.
What's the address roughly?
Do you know, Danny? I'll
Okay.
email you.
Okay, that's
It's
email
next to the
Carolyn.
physical rec- old
I'll
physical
email
rec.
Carolyn.
Yeah.
Mary, it's the one that the guy was in a bad accident, and we let them put a very, very temporary ramp to get him in the house, and then we had to, well, they sent a letter, if you don't remove it, you know, and they did. It's that house, we're much.
But they remodeled the house, but then this trailer has been parked there, and it's a long red trailer.
On the street.
Right under the magnolia
It's
tree.
right in
front
front of their house.
In the magnolia
Like,
tree.
Big one.
Yeah, under that magnolia tree, so up against the porch.
And it has been about 2 years since it's been there.
Well, see, they moved
Send us the
it.
address.
And I'll email Carolyn
Yeah, I mean, we can, at this point, it's not a problem for us to send
a
letters.
letter, yeah.
This is a problem. What we can't do is devote someone to ride around and find.
Yeah.
Do trailers have to be tagged?
Yes.
I remember when on Broad Street, when we had the problems with the apartments there, before they were renovated by Mr. Girardi, and they had someone in the back with like a wire, electrical wire hooked up, and they had to, the reason was the tag had expired, and they could get them out of there because you have to be tagged and presently tagged for whatever the day, the week, the month is.
I think it may depend on whether it's on the street or on the property. I'm not positive about that. Don't
Right.
quote me on that. That's more of
Okay.
a police
That would make sense.
thing, but, yeah.
Well, see, he had that trailer, when we complained about it a couple of years ago, they kind of moved it in the backyard, but see, now with the foliage for summer and everything, they moved it and don't think you could really see it, but you can, I guess, because we know it's there. And it was supposed to be painted, that's never been done either.
Remember, he came, the developer, who was the builder on that, the construction? It was
Mike
quite a
Hazard.
few- Who was it?
Mike Hazard.
Okay, it was a beautiful presentation, what they were going to do to the house. And it's sort of built the new and then stopped with everything else that was, and I think that's why it would be wonderful if we could have an enforcer, because of all the things we ever say or suggest,
And we will have
people
one.
do what they want to
That's
do.
the intent.
Yeah.
That person won't necessarily be hired as with the title of code enforcement.
Right.
But that will be part of their.
Good job.
Yeah, because if the builder, presents and so forth, and get going, then all of a sudden, the people don't want to pay him, what he's got to stop, I mean, and that's going on also in town, so.
It's a real
I guess one other thing, has anybody heard what's going on with the house next to Ed Hammond?
That's the one,
Are
oh,
they still?
Oh, Edward
that-
Junior's friend, the rain
Yeah.
guy from New
Yes.
York, the artist.
I did see
that's
cars
his-
coming out of there the other day, so maybe they're back to doing construction.
Well, you know who was doing it? It's Early, the guy that was doing, is doing the new beer brewery. Maybe he jumped off that to do the beer brewery on Garth Street. Am I right?
What was
He,
that?
wasn't it, I'm going blank on his name, the young man that,
Gave us our puppies, yes,
Yeah.
yes, they're finishing the brewery and I talked to him.
Right, he was one he hired, as I recall, to put his art gallery in the back of the property.
And that's what you said.
And then
That's
his
what you'll
home
see.
was gonna be in the front, and he was gonna save all the landscaping, it was gonna be landscaped so much we'd never see it. So it's gonna be interesting.
And I always see
When
now
the
is
big
the
30
white
feet trees
poles.
come in.
Well, that was what got built first.
He does planted trees and,
Has he started doing
Yeah.
some? Well, that's encouraging then.
Well, I
He
think
seemed like an honorable
changes.
person, I hope so.
Well,
Comments from the staff and comments from the commission, I think we've just been discussing all of those. Does anybody else have anything else to say?
The only other thing that I would have is what you already mentioned, which would be, I believe Sarah has sent out, Sarah, the mayor's assistant, has sent out emails or letters regarding commission terms that are up. So just keep an eye out for that.
The response about continuing the farmer's market, just send that to Sarah's email or that's a wonderful idea if it's something merchants would be interested in. It brings so much business to town.
That is actually going to be on the agenda as a, not for a vote, but as a,
Well, I read that
Yeah.
there was something about if the citizens, if you liked it or not, to let everybody know. I think it's a great idea if it's not gonna cause any problem with the stores.
What was that, Carol? I missed part of it.
They're talking about, our weather is so nice to extend the farmer's market through like the 1st of October, like another month. or
In
so.
previous years, the vendors weren't interested because they wouldn't have produce. There's only so many
Oh,
pumpkin
of course.
Yeah, right.
pumpkin vendors, but this year they are interested, so they have enough to keep it going, and it makes sense.
No, it seems to be just growing and it's about. I couldn't get in a church parking lot of Bismarck Church. I thought, holy cow, you better start going to an earlier service, you're not gonna get it.
That's what I was saying, you gotta go to 8:30 to church.
The other thing, I guess I didn't call for, if there's any comments from the audience or anything. I see, Brett, you have a couple out here, Brett, anything? And I don't have anything to say as the chairman, we get a motion for an adjournment.
So moved.
All right,
Thank you, Noreen.
meeting adjourned.
thank you. Well, this is one of the busiest nights of the year for the Atlantic, well, it has been, I don't know, tonight's gonna be great, but it's the fireworks are tonight, so a lot of people go to the Atlantic and have beer.
Oh, is
Well,
that why
you-
there's so